There's a specific kind of pain that comes from being disrespected and saying nothing. Not because you were at peace, but because you didn't know what else to do. You replayed the moment for hours afterward. You rehearsed the comeback you never gave. You wondered if your silence made you look weak, or worse, if it invited more of the same treatment. This feeling, this quiet humiliation, has visited nearly every person who has ever tried to be good in a world that often rewards cruelty. And, for over 2,000 years, a group of thinkers understood this pain so precisely that they built an entire philosophy around it. Not a philosophy of revenge, and not one of passive suffering either, but something far more powerful, a way of meeting disrespect that neither escalates the conflict nor surrenders your dignity. The Stoics called it strength through discipline, and what they discovered still applies today with startling precision. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, faced disrespect constantly. Generals questioned him, senators undermined him. Even those closest to him sometimes betrayed his trust. Yet he wrote, in the privacy of his own journal, that when someone wrongs you, the real question is not how to punish them, but how to keep your own character from being wronged in return. This single idea reframes almost everything about how we experience disrespect. Most of us believe that the damage done to us comes from the other person's words or actions. The Stoics argued something different. The real damage happens only if we allow our inner, our reasoning, our sense of self, to be hijacked by someone else's behavior. This is not a comfortable idea. It is a demanding one, because it means the person who insulted you does not actually have power over you unless you hand it to them. To understand why this matters so deeply, we have to look at what disrespect actually does to the nervous system. When someone mocks you, dismisses you, or tries to diminish you in front of others, the brain treats it almost like a physical threat. Modern psychology has confirmed what the Stoics intuited long before laboratories existed. Social rejection and humiliation activate the same neural pathways as physical pain. This is why an insult can feel like a blow to the chest. Your body is not being dramatic. It is responding the way it evolved to respond, treating social standing as a matter of survival. But here is where Stoic philosophy diverges from instinct. Instinct tells you to react immediately, to defend your status, to prove the other person wrong. Stoicism tells you to pause, because the person who reacts instantly is not thinking. They are simply obeying a biological alarm bell, and alarm bells are rarely wise counselors. This is where the idea of strategic silence enters, and it is one of the most misunderstood tools in the entire Stoic framework. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not avoidance. Silence, used deliberately, is a demonstration of control so complete that it unsettles people who expected a reaction. Epictetus, who spent years as a slave before becoming one of the most respected philosophers in Rome, taught that when someone insults you, your first task is not to respond to them, but to examine yourself. Ask whether the accusation holds any truth. If it does, use it to grow. If it does not, then it belongs entirely to the person who said it, and carrying their words further is like accepting a gift you never asked for. This reframing changes disrespect from something that happens to you into something you get to evaluate from a position of calm authority. There is a deeper principle beneath all of this, one the Stoics called the dichotomy of control. It states simply that some things are within your power and some things are not. Your reputation in another person's eyes, their opinion of you, their tone, their behavior, none of this belongs to you. What belongs to you is your response, your judgment, and your character. When you fully absorb this idea, something remarkable happens. You stop needing people to treat you well in order to feel secure. Your sense of worth stops depending on their approval. This is not coldness. It is emotional independence, the kind that allows you to walk through criticism, mockery, or even betrayal without being emotionally hijacked by it. Seneca, writing to a friend who was tormented by an enemy's constant insults, offered advice that still feels startlingly modern. He said that a wise person is like a rock standing firm against crashing waves. The waves make noise, they froth, they seem powerful in the moment, but the rock remains unmoved. and eventually the waves exhaust themselves while the rock stands exactly where it always stood. This image captures something essential about emotional mastery. It is not the absence of feeling. The Stoics were not advocating numbness. It is the refusal to let temporary emotional storms dictate permanent decisions. When you respond to disrespect with the same energy it was given to you, you become the wave, not the rock. You match their chaos instead of demonstrating your stability. This brings us to a principle that often surprises people who are new to Stoic thought: the idea of never rewarding disrespect. Rewarding disrespect does not only mean giving someone what they want emotionally. It also means giving them your attention, your anxiety, your altered behavior, your diminished self-respect. Every time you shrink yourself to avoid someone's judgment, or over-explain yourself to someone who has already decided not to listen, you are reinforcing their behavior. You are teaching them, often unconsciously, that disrespecting you produces results. The Stoic alternative is not aggression. It is composed detachment. It is treating the disrespect as information about the other person's character, rather than a verdict on your own worth. This is also where amor fati, the love of fate, becomes relevant. The Stoics believe that everything that happens to you, including painful confrontations and unfair treatment, can become material for growth if you choose to see it that way. Instead of asking why this disrespect happened to you, you can ask what it reveals, what it strengthens, and how it prepares you to meet future challenges with greater steadiness. This does not mean pretending the pain does not exist. It means refusing to let the pain define the entire story. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that obstacles do not block the path. They often become the path itself, shaping character in ways comfort never could. If you take one practical framework from all of this, let it be this: the next time you feel disrespected, resist the urge to respond immediately. Give yourself a moment before speaking or acting. Ask yourself honestly whether reacting will restore your dignity or simply escalate someone else's chaos. Remember that your composure is not permission for them to continue. It is proof that they never had the power they assumed they had. Silence, when chosen deliberately, often communicates more authority than any argument ever could. And when the moment passes, return to the deeper truth the Stoics spent their lives refining. Your peace does not depend on their behavior. It depends entirely on your relationship with your own mind. There is a certain quiet power in walking away from an insult unshaken. Not because you did not feel it, but because you refused to let it dictate who you are. This is not about winning arguments or proving people wrong. It is about becoming someone whose inner stability cannot be disturbed by external noise. The ancient Stoics were not teaching detachment for its own sake. They were teaching freedom, the freedom that comes when your worth no longer depends on anyone else's opinion. And once you taste that freedom, even for a moment, you begin to understand why this philosophy has survived for 2,000 years. Not because it promises comfort, but because it offers something rarer than comfort. It offers control over the one thing that was always yours to command, your own mind.